2 episodes ago, I warned you guys about a huge market crash on the way, and that's exactly what happened. And I still ended up losing coins. Maybe I should start taking my own advice. Welcome to Trading to Glory. If you're looking to buy or sell any of your EAFC 24 coins, look no further than my new partner, FUTLOOT.com, and use my code ELYT, ELYYT, for 6% off at checkout. In the last episode, I told you guys that the safest investments were going to be out-of-pack golds and fodder, which ended up being true, and I tried to test my luck a little bit on something else, which we'll get into here in a second. But Griezmann was our main investment. We bought 14 of his card right about here, 102,000 coins. I think we paid up to 105 on his cards, and he rose all the way to 127,000 coins before dropping to about 124, and that's when I sold. He stopped rising. I decided to get out. And so we ended up making hundreds of thousands of coins on this card alone, on this flip. It was absolutely spectacular. The only problem with that was I also decided to put some coins into Frimpong right about there, because I thought, oh, he's crashing hard because of the content at Centurions. You know what? He's probably going to rebound a little bit, which I was right, kind of. I got in at about 120. He went to 130, I think, was his highest. And then he crashed down, and I did not sell like an idiot. And I got greedy and ended up losing about 10 to 15,000 coins per card when you consider tax. And I bought 11 of those. So I lost like 150,000 coins on Frimpong. Now, thankfully, we're up overall. Since we made so many coins on the out-of-pack investments, it was still a W, but it just wasn't as much profit as we could have made. Now, is this market going to continue to go down? And the answer is yes. Guys, they might see some sort of plateaus and slight rebounds, but I'm going to pull up Microsoft Paint to illustrate this for you. Welcome to EAFC 24 Trading in November 101. Here's your crash course. This is the start of the month. We've already kind of seen it over the last couple of days in the end of October. What we are trying to do now is time a buy at that low point and get in and then sell at the high point before it crashes again, because that's exactly what's going to happen with this market. They're going to crash, probably recover a little bit on a rebound, and then crash again. And that's going to happen multiple times over the course of the month. Some crashes will be higher than others. Some won't be down by too much. But we're really risking a lot if we want to try to time when that green is really going to happen. You have to time the low point and the high point perfectly, as pretty much all meta gold cards, all meta heroes, and any of the promo cards other than maybe Road to the Knockouts are going to look like this over the course of November. And quite frankly, trading like that is a very dangerous game to play. Because if you don't get in at the right time and don't sell at the right time, you're almost inevitably going to lose coins. And it's very easy to miss those times because it's very specific. And since meta gold cards are going down in price, like Van Dijk, who's 230,000 coins now and just a few days ago was about 280,000 coins, their informs are also coming down as well. Because if the 89's going down a lot, then the 90, which is only like a +1 or 2 on every stat, is not worth as much either. And you can see these cards are starting to come down as well. Are they going to go back up? When's Van Dijk going to hit 700K? Probably never. These cards will continue to go down, and in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if Virgil van Dijk was lower than 150,000 coins come Black Friday. These cards are going to keep going down. And so if you have one of the informs that are out of packs right now, such as Antoine Griezmann, I would sell. I think it's time to get out before Wednesday comes and he goes back into packs, because only bad things can happen then. And then you've also got some players that are in Centurions right now, such as Marcus Rashford, who's kind of come back down a little bit. And I actually still have one of him. I thought I could hold him a little bit longer, but because the rest of the market's coming down, there's going to be other options in the game that are more affordable. On top of the fact that we're getting later into the year, which means that cards like Marcus Rashford are already in so many people's teams that they're going to keep supply on the market while he's out of packs. It might not be as much supply, but it will be supply nonetheless. Whereas on week 2 and week 3. Not that many people had these kind of cards yet, which means that if they went out of packs, they would go up a lot more. I think we're going to stop seeing that trend, and the out of pack investing is going to have to be adjusted. It's still going to work, it's just not going to be in the same way anymore. And one of those ways is to just sell into the hype right now. For the next couple of weeks, this should work. Jude Bellingham right now, he scored a brace in El Clasico. He's going to get into Team of the Week number 7. It's almost inevitable. And you can see after the market crash happened on Friday, he dropped as low as 78,000 coins before scoring a brace, winning the match for Real Madrid and spiking to about 100,000 coins. Now, he has settled around 90,000 coins and could go up maybe 2,000-3,000 more by Wednesday. And in my opinion, if you've got a Jude Bellingham, maybe you did buy at that low point before he ended up scoring those goals, or you maybe got in at a low point around 85,000 coins, you might be able to get 95K out of him, but I probably wouldn't hold this until Friday. I would probably sell a lot earlier than what we've been selling at with these out-of-pack investments, because Jude Bellingham at this point has been in packs for much longer than what he went out of packs for when he got his first Team of the Week card, and he might not rise quite as much this time. And on top of that, people are more prepared. There's a lot more investing going on in preparation for the out-of-pack investments, and we kind of are seeing that with Antoine Griezmann right now. I know I sold my cards already, but you can see, well, there's a snipe right there, but you can see he's at about 120,000 coins when he did peak at 128. Normally, this would not happen on a Sunday or a Monday because he's still out of packs, but since so many people actually did invest in him, he's actually dropping late in the week just from investors themselves. But when it feels like all hope is lost, the market is completely mudded, and there's no way to make any coins, you turn to All Reliable, which is SBC Fodder. And I invested in a lot of SBC Fodder. That was, I think, my cheapest deal there, the Undawan. But most of my cards were for 10,000 coins. The most I paid was 10,250, and I got like 60 to 70 of these cards, which means that we're already making over 100,000 coin profit on these 86s, and 84s ended up being the jackpot. If you went on an 84 rated card investments, you're looking at cards that went from 1.5K to 3,000 coins just in the last 24 hours because of one specific SBC. And so if you guys invested in 84s or 85s or 86s, what I would suggest is list these cards for lazy buyers, which I'm going to start listing my cards right now as well, because we're not in any huge rush to sell. Only SBCs that are expiring over the next 24 hours and 48 hours are UEFA Marquee Matchups and Centurions Challenge number 1, which, reminder to do it, I guess, if you haven't done those yet. But those SBCs don't require high-rated fodder, so there's not going to be any demand going away from these SBCs. However, if we look at the reason that these cards are even up in price in the first place, you're looking at the main culprit being the max 87 rated upgrade hero SBC, which is right here. Pretty cheap, 84 rated squad, 85 rated squad, but the big kicker is that you can do this twice, repeatable twice. And the second big thing is that it refreshes in 4 days, which I believe is Thursday or Friday. I believe it's Friday, but I'm not sure what time zone we're working with right here with EA's clock in game. Either way, we're looking at 4 days from now. This refreshes and the demand for all those cards comes back. So if we see 84s or 85s drop in price a ton at any point this week, maybe from marquee matchup supply or the hype of a new promo, anything like that, we're going to go in on those because we're going to see the demand come back for the max 87 hero upgrade on that refresh, in which we can make some pretty good coins on it. So no huge rush on selling these cards. All of the player SBCs that are out right now are out for at least a few more days. And so I would say hold your fodder and just list and list and list for lazy buyers right now until we get to any scenario in which we start to need to sell. Then we can list for the market price, which right now the market price for these 86s right now is about 12,250 coins. So that's what I could sell right now and probably sell within the hour every single time. Every single card I'd list for this card would sell. But instead, I'm going to list my cards for about 13,500 coins instead, and I'll stagger it a little bit especially if I'm listing the same card over and over again, but 13,500, 13,250, 13,750 roughly is what I'm going for. And if you invested in a lot of fodder, make sure you check through these players like Conte, who has a shadow card, who will go for more than what his other cards go for, even if he is fodder. FUT Centurions expires on Friday, and I don't think these cards are going to rise out of packs like what we saw with Road to the Knockouts, because they're not dynamic, and their gold cards are going down in price right now, like Rashford, Gayoro, and Mendy, Tomori. These cards, especially once their gold card goes back into packs and drops even more, I don't see that boding well for their FUT Centurions version of their card, even if it is a significant upgrade. Most of these being like +3, like Ferland Mendy was +3, Rashford was +3. They're good upgrades, but are they upgrades worth over 1.7 million more than what their gold card is? Maybe not. And what I'm really worried about is that we're going to see a little bit of overinvestment in these cards as we exit the week, and they'll drop in price. There might be an opportunity a little bit later to get in on these cards as complement links as new cards come out, but I don't really think that I'm going to be touching these cards when Road to the Knockouts still have a little bit of juice left in them. Are we going to invest in these cards after their final upgrade? Absolutely not. These cards are only valuable because of a potential next upgrade. And when we look at the UCL standings right now, we'll see that there are certain teams like Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, we've got PSG's doing well, Man City, and Barcelona. Those teams that are 3-0-0, those teams have a potential of actually clinching, at least going to the knockout rounds in their next match, assuming other games go their way as well. But when they go 4-0-0, they're basically guaranteed to get through to the knockout rounds, which is going to bring up the price of their respective RTTK card. So you're looking at Lewandowski, you're looking at Luka Modric, you're looking at maybe Konrad Laimer as very high risk investments, guys. But I look at this kind of Lewandowski card and seeing him go from 93 to 94,000 coins, on top of the fact that he'll get a pace boost, his shooting and dribbling and physicality and passing is already spectacular. He's 4-star, 4-star. I'm looking at a card that's probably worth more than 600,000 coins in my opinion, and there's not going to be too many cards that really compete with it other than the icons that we see, and then maybe Mbappe, I guess, but realistically that's a completely different league, different nation, until Team of the Year. And so I like this Lewandowski. I like the Luka Modric. I think it's high risk. If you are a gambling man, maybe this is kind of the move for you. I might go in on a Lewandowski or two just into the hype. Now, these matches that they play are going to be next week on Tuesday or Wednesday. So about 8 days from now is when these cards go and play their next match. Do you want to sell into the hype of that match? Absolutely. I would sell probably 24 hours before their game, if not maybe a little bit earlier than that. But as their game gets played and you think that they're going to end up winning that match, you might be able to get in on another buy window, because I'd say selling beforehand and then buying back is always the safest way. You can actually see on certain days when they do end up playing their matches, you can see Lewandowski, who was 540k, when he actually played his match, he got down to as low as 500,000 coins. They won that game. You can get in at that low point, and then in the hype of the upgrade, he rose like 80,000 coins, which is very significant. It's one of the cards that rose a little bit more than the other ones, but it could happen again, and I think we should probably look at this as a pretty solid investment. Now, that's going to be it for today's episode. If you have any more questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many of them as possible, and if you made it to the end of the video, go ahead and comment Market Crash Hype down below, and I'll make sure to drop a heart on everybody's comment who does so. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, click on that video because it's an awesome video, and peace out.